drink what I want to drink.
Exactly, dude. That's what it's all about. So you heard it here first, guys. Fear Dragon figured it out. So if you need any life tips, any life hacks, then just follow him on Twitter because he tweets a lot of good stuff. But coming into this game now, here we are, ladies and gents, with our first player down in the bottom left. He's up against the ropes. Can he turn things around? It is going to be none other than Elevate's Masa.
Woo. And his opponent spawning up in the top right-hand corner of the map. We have Yellow Protoss player. Give it up for Ting's Neve, 1 game away from victory in this best of 7.
Oh, you know, I'm getting flashbacks now to the good old-fashioned days of LDIM's MVP.
Oh, really, Tenchi? Why is that? Do you see something on that mini-map? Do you see something happening inside of Masa's base?
Oh, I might. Or rather, the lack thereof things happening in Masa's base, because it's happening on the middle of the map.
Yeah. We got...
Oh,
1, 2... No! Masa! Oh no, he forgot what the default scouting path was for pros.
Oh,
or maybe he just doesn't give a damn. I can't tell.
Oh man. I'm sweating for Masa right now.
How do you make this work? I mean, Neve is gonna make a Zealot. He's immediately starting up a second gateway. This is going to be off of 2 gas geysers. So I imagine just because he only has 2 barracks, he can afford to get up a factory, or he could even get up a reactor or something on one of these barracks and start cranking out. Well, he's making Marines. Tenchi, I actually don't know what this is.
Yeah, this is... Okay, he's going to put a bunker at the front. I think this is actually really intelligent because this is going to sort of pin Neva back a little bit. And then he can also use it to sort of bounce in and out of the bunker to always sort of maintain a little bit of a presence on this side. But, yeah, this is most certainly a little bit... it's actually very odd what we're seeing. Very odd.
You know
Second bunker.
Tenchi, I am liking this. Think about how this looks to Neve. Oh, you proxied 2 barracks. You got 2 gas geysers. Surely, I'm about to get crazy level all in by a bunch of Marines, and maybe, I don't even know, you're going to send some other stuff. There's some bunkers going down inside my natural expansion. But in reality, this, while it is a 1-base play that is very committed for Masa, Neve doesn't necessarily know how to actually respond to this.
That's true, man. Like, how do you respond to something you've never seen before? It's like in all of those horror films, you know, the first person to die is always that one guy who like finds the alien and he just freezes in his boots because he's never seen something like that before. And maybe the situation is going to be the same thing here for me, but for now, I do like this response though. It does look very calculated. Pylon to block the natural, 2 adept sent across the map. Even though he's not going to be able to get in there, at least he has the information now to see that Masa's not expanding.
Yeah, and, well, kind of funny enough, there is an expansion coming down for Masa, but as you were saying, it's going to be very, very delayed. Funny enough, it's still going to be ahead of Neve's, though, because Neve was having a little bit of trouble. Oh my god, Neve just stuck out a probe because one of the bunkers was empty.
Oh my god, man. You saw Masa there, actually. He moved his SCV around a little bit, like, oh, okay. Because I think he caught the end of that probe just going back into the fog of war. But now he does have a 2-1-1 setup in terms of infrastructure, which I don't know how good it's going to be. Now these double bunkers are going to be a little bit of a hurdle for Neeb to break down, but he's going for an immortal, so once that finishes up he should be able to just bust through there without any sort of issue.
Yeah, the interesting thing that may end up happening here, though, is that Neeb is now committed to that robotic silly tech. He's investing into Immortals and stuff. So Stargate, yeah, he could technically throw one down and start making Phoenix again, like he has been in some of these other games. But it may be a little bit harder to transition to that style now, just because he'd be getting started so late compared to where Masa's kind of tech is. So little bits of aggression, like even the Cyclone is doing a substantial amount of damage. And yeah, Neeb is breaking through. The bunker actually managed to get salvaged in time. Cyclone's gonna have to back up, but this is such a far away expansion right now, this early on in the game, Tenchi. I think Masa may be able to try and do something about this.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree with you, because if you look at the infrastructure for him now, he's going for siege tanks, and we should see that starport it's going to be finishing up shortly. But if he gets some of these really powerful zoning units for Terran, tanks, Liberators, Widowmines, and then he pins himself in between the main and the natural expansion, then that can become a really weird, interesting situation here, because, you know, then I don't know, man. Again, we're getting these super scrappy, odd games simply because of how Masa decides to pace himself and just go for these seemingly to be all-ins, but then transition into a fairly normal game styles.
Well, you know, Tenchi, here's another way of looking at this, right? We're talking about how Masa is really strong in the mid game, but he can do well in the late game also if it's a scrappy game. What makes a game more scrappy than just turning it into an absolute, completely weird game where you don't actually have an idea of what your opponent is doing? That's a really great way to turn into a scrappy game, because it's a lot harder to make intelligent decisions about positioning and everything else if you don't know what your opponent's about to throw at you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Now, Double Immortal Drop does come in here, and he has... oh, man, he's going to be able to cancel the combat shield and even shave off a couple of these Marines.
Oh.
Losing some of the hull HP there on that Immortal now. Using the boost. He's going to give chase for this and try to gun down this War Prism, but he's instead going to target fire. Oh my god, Deep's control, man. Oh, this is disgusting. He's going to kill every single Marine.
Oh god. So many things going down over here. Over at the main base, Masa gets some really big wins over there.
Oh, that was sick.
I don't actually know if the stream managed to catch it, unfortunately. But, you know, still, really, really big win for Masa. He's still sitting down workers, but he's got to make this big next push in work. The War Prism is here. Immortals, and oh, he catches Masa before he gets a chance to siege. Most of the bio is already dead. Oh god, Liberator's coming in, but it's not going to get a chance to siege up in a nice position.
Well, this is a conundrum. Masa might just outright die here. The mobility provided by this War Prism is that there's not really any option for him to leave with any of these units, and he's going to be able to just retain the 2 tanks, but everything else dies here for the Terran. And Neeb now is getting ready to get up towards the 3rd base, and he's actually got some really good tech coming along. Cleans up the Liberator. This is looking very dicey for Masa.
Yeah, Masa doesn't even really have a 3rd command center on the way, so he's sitting down in army supply by a good bit. He doesn't have the same level of tech that Neeb has, and he doesn't even have a 3rd expansion, which Neeb is now getting started, so there's not really a whole lot that Masa's sitting ahead in, but Tenchi, Liberators can change games. Liberators and Siege Tanks with just one good engagement can change everything. And it's going to be a little bit reliant, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, on Neeb maybe making a few mistakes, but Masa still has a few hopes left.
No, but is Neeb a man who makes a lot of mistakes? I don't think so, Ravi. He's just so solid. It's just... I guess the one thing would be that, you know, maybe he baits Neeb into a false sense of overconfidence so that he overextends a little bit. Maybe then, but otherwise it is, you know, it is as you say, it's all about that perfect engagement. And he does have a really powerful army. Let's not kid ourselves. Even though he's behind in this game, his army is absolutely terrifying to come up against in a straight engagement. But Neeb, on the other hand, I mean, if we look at his composition, he's optimizing it for every second in this game that goes by. Charge on the way, +1 attack, more Colossus, he's got the Thermal Lance upgrade, and 6 more gateways coming up here for the Protoss. So he's going to have everything that he needs, man. He's getting... the War Machine is churning, and Neeb is just feeding coal into the furnace at this point.
Yeah, we end up seeing Masa starting to move out. He finally picks off one of the observers, which I've got to really commend Neeb on. He's got actually really great vision of exactly where Masa could move out. The only thing that he's really lacking vision of is outside of that 3rd expansion, but even the War Prism kind of darting in and out of that location should catch wind of when that 3rd goes down.
Oh my god. I was thinking that Masa was going to pounce into the main base there for a moment, you know, use the Liberators and the tanks to siege up, but not going to be the case. Instead, he's going to be able to catch a Colossus. This is a really good start here for Masa. That's exactly what he needs. And now, like I said, if he can pin himself between the 3rd and the natural, then maybe this positioning, he can just merely outposition Neeb. Instead of charge on in.
Oh, but the bio, so much of the bio has already gone down to those Colossus swipes initially. The Siege Tanks were a little bit late on the siege because there was half of the army for Neeb over here. And now Neeb has had enough time to reposition the rest of his army that was out of position earlier. There's a lot of Siege Tanks, there's a lot of Liberators. Masa needs to make this work, but all the Liberators are going to be sieged on the wrong side if Neeb decides to come in from the back.
Okay, so this positioning right now for Neeb is, or pardon me, from Masa is actually excellent. He's going to be able to pin away everything from coming up this ramp now with Siege Tanks, Liberators, and bringing down this Nexus is a really good pickup for him as he's going for a third of his own behind this. Now the one thing that is going to be so scary is when Neeb commits, and this is the moment, Robbie. He's going to go right in there, charge out of through one, so much damage, and Neeb is going to clean off most of this, but not for free. He's lost a lot of those important support units. Oh my god,
yeah.
This was effective fight there at the end of Masa. He's ahead of supply!
Oh my god, this is astounding, and he might even be able to take out this one Colossus with one Marine and one Marauder going for broke. But he does have to back up. Neeb does not have Blink just yet on these Stalkers. He's about to finish it up, but more reinforcements coming on in, stimming forward. Masa didn't just take out Neeb's natural. Oh my god, he takes out the Colossus as well, but that was the pressure base. GG just called. Masa takes the game, bringing himself back in the series. Still down 1, but oh, he's not giving up just yet.
Is this real life?